everybody, and welcome to this short video of myself and Ben. Ben has very kindly agreed just to sit down and give us some of his advice on various bits of clarinet playing. And in this video, we're going to talk about a warm-up sort of routine or some things to think about and the importance of warming up. So obviously warming up is crucial, correct? Yep. So maybe just let us know from your point of view as a working professional how important that is and how much time perhaps you dedicate to it. And then maybe we'll get into some actual practical tips.
Well, I mean, of course, that varies from day to day. If I've, in a busy period, and say if I'm rehearsing every day, it's going to be tricky to get in a proper long warm-up. But even on those days, that is, even if it's literally for 10 or 15 minutes, if that's what time allows, that's what I feel would be important, rather than jumping straight into more sort of gratuitous practice. I mean, we're playing a wind instrument, and the way that we use our air is obviously paramount to that.
Yeah. So if you had that short period, let's just say, are there particular things that you would concentrate on in that 10-15 minutes? Is there a particular routine or method you would use?
Yeah, I mean, actually, it begins without the instruments. I usually do a few breathing exercises, sends a clarinet, just to make sure that the functions that make playing the clarinet feel relaxed and easy are working. So just a few stretches, and then also making sure that my body is relaxed. When I start the breath, I'll do a few breathing exercises, make sure I'm really, really breathing into the rib cage, and then activating the really essential core muscles to support the breath on the way out. I find that if I've done this before I've even touched the clarinet, my body's already got quite a good idea of what it wants to do when I end up picking up the clarinet and blow a few notes.
Okay, so is that something that it doesn't change? Like you have a set method you would go through? Okay. Yeah. Can you show us a little bit of that perhaps?
Sure. A lot of them actually take place on the floor, but for the sake of the video, I mean, I'll try and get into a neutral position, actually really check in if my body is tense or not. If there is a bit of tension, I'll try my best to let it go, particularly from the stomach, and then sort of put my hands around where the rib cage is for some reference, and just slowly and deeply breathing in. And then on the way out, engaging the right supporting muscles. Basically doing that quite a few times. I think it's obviously very easy to be tense when you play an instrument. It's not a natural thing to hold a 1 kilogram piece of wood, sometimes for 6 or 8 hours a day with one hand. A lot of tension can come from that. So if you're starting, basically taking a few moments to make sure that you're starting relaxed and providing positive tension, not negative tension, then I think you're already starting on the uphill.
So when you get the clarinet in hand, are there particular blowing things that you might do as well that we can maybe have a little look at?
Sure. So I usually start by doing some intervals. We play an instrument that can be quite temperamental for tuning, and the beginning of the day, as well as your body, your ears may well not be warmed up at all to be sensitive to things like pitch and intonation. So I usually try and do things like fourths and fifths around the register, trying to get a nice even sound, trying to get them to be in tune with each other, and basically trying to not force any of the sound, trying to be as vocal as possible. So doing that at all different sorts of dynamics, obviously very loudly, very softly, but within all those dynamics trying to maintain this nice sort of relaxed but positively reinforced posture.
Yeah. all there to support the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would imagine with more time, you might do some work on things around dexterity,
Definitely.
etc.
Yeah.
I know there's lots of practice methods out there and things. Are there any little exercises that you do as a part of the course, so to speak?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm really pressed for time, a great one is the scale exercise from the Jean-Jean Vademecum book, which basically traverses every scale and arpeggio. Yada, 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 for the next 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, thank you for the abbreviated version. That's
Yeah.
much appreciated. Okay, but it's important to get... So I suppose to sum up, what we're trying to do is go in fairly relaxed but supported.
Definitely.
Waking up the ears so that the pitch and everything can be alert, and getting the fingers gradually moving and moving without tension. That's the big thing, isn't it? Or positive tension.
With just with a sort of intelligent understanding of which muscles actually are required to play the instrument. And that's going to be, in very subtle ways, a personal thing for each person. I would never want to be dogmatic to say, you have to use this in exactly this way. It's really important that everybody, student or advanced or whatever, discovers how to play in a well-supported way for themselves.
Cool. Well, hopefully that's been helpful. I think for a lot of players who aren't maybe professional, if they're doing it in between working life, or they might have kids, or they might be the kids, probably part of it is just getting away from the madness of day-to-day life,
sure.
isn't it?
Yeah.
And so maybe having a little space where it is your clarinet space, your practice space, just to switch off from that world and switch on to our world, isn't it? Even if you can just find 2 minutes to just make that transition, it will help with the practice.
And I think, just coming back to this idea that you enjoy playing the instrument more when you're feeling relaxed and in control of it. As I say, it's an awkward thing sometimes to play. But taking a little bit of time to make sure you're well set up will really serve you well in the long run. I think no matter what level you're at.
Fab. Good. Okay. Thank you, Ben. Good stuff. Plenty of good advice there. So go and do some practice. Don't just watch us. But hopefully those things will help you get warmed up and get doing it properly. We've done a few videos with Ben about clarinet playing, about his clarinets, about choosing clarinets, lots of things. So check those out. But for now, Ben, thank you very much for that advice. And we shall speak to you again very soon.